Chicago Stadium. Our guest, Mike Keenan. 4 years in Philadelphia, Mike. Come over here to Chicago, and you brought along a pretty good crew. You brought along your able assistant, E.J. McGuire. You got Jacques Martin, who had coached in St. Louis. And a lot of people thought, well, with that coaching staff, now they're going to automatically turn the Chicago Blackhawks into not only a defensive-minded team, they're going to win, they're going to do all those things that you did in Philadelphia. Some people are saying, well, why hasn't that happened that quickly here?
That's a good question. I think it takes time to convert a few people, particularly the players, that they should be playing tighter defensive hockey. You look at our goals against, it's terrible, and to be quite frank, and it's out of line completely in what we expect to achieve. And at the same time, there's a shallow history here of winning, and I think that really affects the confidence levels of the hockey players. They don't have much experience. They can't go back and retrieve many experiences in terms of winning, and we've been in a lot of tight hockey games and having a tough schedule to begin with. We've already played 9 road games, and when you have a team that lacks confidence, has to go on an extended road period like we've just done, 16 days in a road. We played some pretty fair hockey games. We only won 2, but we saw improvement, and that's what we're looking for, and we think that we can eventually turn this around, and certainly the players have to believe that they can do it first and foremost, regardless of what the coaches think.
Well, you know, when you talk to the average fan and you say, oh, you can't teach someone to be offensive, they know that it's hard to teach a guy to be able to let Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky or have a feel around the net. I don't think a lot of people realize what are the real intricacies about not being able to play defense. They just think it's hard work, and if you got your head in the right place, you should be able to play defense, but that obviously isn't the case.
No, what's important as far as playing defense is your ability to read the play, and that's the critical aspect of playing defense, your ability to read and react to the situation. It's a high-tempo game, as everyone knows. It's a reaction game, and you have to read and react instantly and play with your instincts. And if your instincts are untrained, then it takes a lot of practice time, teaching, education, and your ability to facilitate those situations in practice so they become instinctively responsive in games, and that's what we're working on. And if you haven't had that for a number of years, it takes a long time to change that.
You know, Mike, when people look at coaches, they look at their demeanor behind the bench. Now, and some coaches just don't show any emotion, don't do much of anything. Other coaches do a lot of things behind the bench. You know, when you're looking at a coach, is it always his natural personality, or a lot of the things that the coach does demonstratively behind the bench something he feels that he has to do at the time to spark his team?
Well, you've played for me, Chico. You know you'll do pretty well anything to win a hockey game. Depends on what that demeanor might be in a certain night. If it means raising the level of arousal on the bench by maybe verbalizing with an official or verbalizing with a player, or being quiet and confidently quiet in certain situations, depends what's needed. If your team is struggling with their confidence, and perhaps a pat in the back or a quiet, confident attitude is more important than maybe trying to arouse them emotionally. On the other hand, you might be in a situation where your team is flat and you need to do something. So I think you have to do whatever you have to do to win.
Well, it should be interesting. You've been quiet lately, but we know that might not last for very long. Thanks, Mike. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks a lot, Chico.
Stay tuned.